Hey everyone, it's Kellen from RacerX with another race examination, and this week with not a lot of Denver Supercross races in the past to talk about, we're going to go actually and take a look at Arlington from 2019 instead, which was one of the best races from last year. Now I wanted to focus on this on the start. Roczen, Tomac, Musquin out front off the get-go, and you would fully expect that at least one of these guys would win this main event, but none of them end up doing it. Roczen initially would pass Tomac for the lead early in the main event, which was a little bit strange for the time being, before Tomac fell out of second place with this really awkward, kind of interesting slide out that put him well down the field. He would end up 12th in this main event, but tucking the front wheel all the way through, trying to stand it up with dabbing his foot, but his leg is behind the center of the bike, so he can't get it down to stab himself up to upright position. And look at this, all the way to the ground, looking ahead at Roczen disappearing into the distance. But I wanted to actually focus on what's going on behind these guys, because you can see Joey Savacci back here. No sign of Cooper Webb at this point in time. Roczen running away with the lead out front. But as we know, Webb would start running down everybody through the field. He would catch and pass Blake Baggett, catch and pass his teammate Marvin Musquin, and then run down Ken Roczen out front and make this last turn, last lap pass on him to pick up the win in the closest finish in Supercross history, which also robbed Roczen of his first win back from his 2017 injury. So it was a really wild end to this race, and I wanted to break down this last turn pass that Cooper Webb did, so let's take a look at it here. So the first thing I wanted to talk about with this is Webb entering the whoops on the left side of Ken Roczen, which he can probably hear him on his left side as he splits the middle here in that middle rut. But Webb very wisely starts backing out of the challenge halfway through the whoops so he can set Roczen up better for the corner in an attempt to make a last turn pass. Now we know Webb cuts down the inside here and goes to the outside of the track, but what Roczen is probably thinking is Webb is on the outside of him to the left, and so he's just going to go outside here in this corner and try to block him off by going to the highest point in the line. At least that's potentially what happened. Now he could cut down the inside here, but Webb would still meet him on the inside and there would be a contact right there. He could go one rut higher, another rut higher, doesn't matter. Webb has still got him controlled here because he's coming down the inside. Now you could also say, why doesn't Roczen just go over the ruts like Webb does here? But then Webb could control him off the track with the inside line that he has here. So Roczen basically just says, I'm going to the top of the berm. If you're outside of me, great. If you're inside of me, meet me there and we can try to duke it out to the finish line, which is exactly what happened. There's a lot of different ways to attack a bull corner, and it's not that Roczen did it the wrong way. It's just that Webb read him perfectly the entire way through, which we also saw earlier this year in Oakland in 2020. And Webb was able to pick up the victory here. A terrific 450 main event that Roczen probably was disappointed at, but still a great one for us fans to watch. Now in the 250 main event, a lot of different things happened here, but for the most part, it was a walk-away victory from Austin Forkner after Alex Martin grabbed the early hole shot. Forkner jumps over him in the first rhythm section and is basically gone. Now later on, Mitchell Oldenburg runs it in hard on Alex Martin, and I just wanted to break this down. As Martin is coming to crash on the ground, he actually bounces back up into this little rut, plants his feet, and has about a quick second to go, what the heck, man, why'd you take me out, before he actually falls back down and tries to pick his bike back up. Just kind of a funny moment there I wanted to point out. Now we join Chase Sexton here, who is having trouble with wall jumps as he's trying to run down Austin Forkner out front. He stalls it before this one, has to get the bike refired, eventually would do so right ahead of Justin Cooper. Then a few laps later would tuck the front wheel coming into this wall jump on the other side of the track, again pick it back up and get going. So a little bit of a rough night there for Sexton, but this is right in the middle of Austin Forkner's dominance on the East Coast last year before he tore his ACL. Wins this one, and just a wild night of racing in that 450 class from Arlington.